Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just put up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink, cause it look like you need it.
One drink? I can do one drink. I can do one drink, cause I really, yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I want to brought to you by is Go Green. Go Green is a garbage company that's been doing great things. They've been doing recycling, but they also doing commercial disposal. You can do household. One of the things I love about Eddie, that's the owner of that company, and he's a good guy that's been doing this for many, many years. So one of the things I always want to do is support the ones that's out there, been doing it for a long time. Again, they got into it because they work with big corporations and then they wanted to do something for themselves. So I always want to make sure I look out for the little man because the big man already got it right and the little man just trying to eat.
Right.
So again, if you want to feed them, go ahead and look them up. Go Green. They do your roll-off service and you never know. You just might see me with my man Eddie. Go Green.
Go Green.
Now, I got to get back to this person who's been rocking me for the longest. You see, we might have switched seats, but we ain't changed our mind. What we do, this man been rocking with me each and every time. Going on and past now, 7 years.
7 years.
Manic, how you doing tonight, big babe?
I'm doing good, Jay. Everything's lovely, man.
Man, I say, man, you still smiling, man.
Gotta keep the smile on your face, man.
Man.
That's probably as much for me as it is for the rest of the world, you know?
Yeah.
So
I like that energy in that way because, again, I can't ever tell you I smile for the world,
yeah,
but I recently started smiling for me.
yeah.
And I think that's where it should have started in the first place. I think I was putting on the front for the world. And then I had to get past the front and realize, I'm still hurting on the inside. So let me work on me. And now I got me. And I ain't gonna say I'm together now. Don't get me wrong. Me and the good Lord, we at work.
We all are working progress, Jay. You know?
And with that note alone, I can say I'm happier now than I was many other days. So can't tell you I got the glow like you,
Right.
but I am happy with me.
Well, listen, man, that's all that matters is being happy with yourself, right? That's a lesson in and of itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be happy with you. In fact, it's probably impossible to be happy with the rest of the world or with anyone else if you're not happy with yourself.
I agree.
Right? And I think that's a principle, a great way to introduce our show. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
Yes.
And we are here to liberate your minds and souls with a fabulous dialogue. We're just going to talk tonight about a subject. And as we do, we want you to find your way in it and find some understanding through it.
Mm-hmm.
Our opinions and our stories, how do they make a difference to you? I want you to make some decisions, real clear, conscious decisions about how you're going to use this discussion tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight's topic is, she is fine,
Mm-hmm.
paid,
Oh, yes.
educated,
Uh-huh.
but still single.
Mm.
He is fine,
Mm-hmm.
paid,
Mhm.
educated,
Mm-hmm.
but he's still single.
Mm.
This is a lesson in assessing people, right? We talk a lot about relationships. In fact, this show is predominantly about relationships.
Yes.
What happens when you meet somebody and it seems like it's too good to be true, right? And so we're going to get into that tonight. And of course, we just want to thank you for being here with us tonight.
Yes,
Again, this is our opportunity to be leaders here in the community. Of course, we always start the show off with a prayer.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Over the
you
head,
know,
my
Jay.
brother. Hit him over the head.
Okay. Well, let's pray over the subject tonight.
I'm cool with that.
All right. And here we go. Heavenly Father, we come to you right now just thanking you for all that you are in our lives. We thank you for your strength and your power and your love. And you are constantly opening doors for us to continue to progress and experience success. We thank you this morning, Lord. We thank you so much. We ask today, Lord, that you would center our mind in understanding what happens when people seem to be too good to be true. We're asking, Father, for the intelligence and wisdom so that we can know if this is the right person for us or not. Perhaps, Father, in this situation, we're going to learn that there's something deeper than the surface. Just being paid and being educated and being good looking is not enough. And so what questions should we ask tonight? What wisdom should we understand tonight? What are you going to offer us, Father, to help us all find more and greater love? We ask that you would be here in this show, do your good and perfect work, speak through us with your love and intelligence. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. Ooh, yes. Yes, we needed that prayer.
Yes. We're going to get some understanding.
Man, yes, you push for that. And I've been pushing for it for a long time, been praying over it. So, yes.
Yeah. We need some of that good understanding.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And I'm just going to take a moment, Jay.
Go ahead.
You know, one of my favorite things to talk about is my company, Minecraft. And it is my company. It was truly inspired by my work here on Bar Talk with Jay. And Jay suggesting that I go and find a way to help us all heal.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's just have a quick conversation tonight, Jay, about fear.
Ooh.
Right?
Okay.
And there's a lot of fear in the world, and I got a feeling we're going to attack some of this, you know, in later shows, but there's a lot of fear going on in the world, and to be honest with you,
Right.
we cannot afford not 1 ounce of fear.
Yeah.
You cannot
agree.
afford to spend time and effort and energy in fear. And what is that fear? You know, they call it false evidence appearing real. It looks like the world is against us.
Right.
It looks like something is trying to hurt us. It looks like something is working to put us down and to take life from us. But in my mindset, I have made a stance in my spirit that says I'm going to win.
All right.
I'm going to be victorious in this life. I'm going to be victorious in my business. I'm going to be victorious in every single thing I touch. And I'm not going to allow the wiles of the enemy and this fear-based thinking to start consuming me, because that's what will happen. If you start entertaining anything with an ounce of fear, it's going to, next thing you know, build up with 20 ounces. And next thing you know, it's going to be several pounds of fear. Right. And you're going to be making every decision based upon false evidence appearing real. And I think this is a perfect time for all of us to well up in us some strength and some faith, because it is only faith that I'm leaning on right now.
Correct.
You can't lean on just a heady, I'm going to make it and I'm going to be victorious. I have a belief that there is a power greater than I, and I call it God, and God is looking out for me, and he's not going to let harm come to me. He knows the mission that we've all been on. He knows what you've been going through. He knows how hard you've been fighting.
Yes.
He knows how bad you want it.
Yes.
He knows some of your shortcomings and where you need help and support. And I'm going to trust that God is going to bring me through any and everything that just might happen in the future. I'm not concerned about what they say in the news. I'm not concerned about what my friends of gospel are talking about, what's all over social media. I hear it, I sift through it, but in it all, every single time I state to me and I state to the world that I'm going to be victorious over this.
All right.
And I started that mindset during COVID.
Okay.
You know, it crept up on me. In fact, I wasn't even aware that it was in the world at all when I got it. And, you know, after I got healed up from it, I just prophesied that it's not going to hurt me anymore. It's not going to take no more life from me. And it has tried, but I had to lean on my faith, you know.
And I promise you, man, when you be speaking, it hits my soul so much. Because, again, when I got started even doing Bar Talk, when I got started in talk radio, that was not my thing that I thought I should do. Okay, I always worked, and I just kept visual what I thought I was good at, and it was just work. And then when I started doing a little bit of stuff on the side and talking and speaking, that was just a natural thing. So I never thought about a career in there or anything. I just thought, hey, I just keep my head focused. I got to do this. You know, my job requires me to do this, so that's all I can ever do. You know, and I had that fear of starting something that I wasn't gonna be good at. And I had to get past that. So through prayer and then also with a conviction of knowing what I was doing was good.
Yeah.
And it wasn't hurting nobody. It's like, yo, my job ain't either, but this is just so pure and it's just so natural to me. So I said, I wanted to pursue it. But I said, before I even pursue it, let me start praying over it.
Yeah.
Let me see, because it got anointed to me through a person that believed in prayer. So I said, let this not be theirs, let it be mine. So let me have a way of controlling it by understanding what he has for me.
Right.
So even when me and that person separated, I stayed in it.
Right.
It could have been that person just bringing me into that season for I know what I need to be doing, and it wasn't meant for us to be together, but it was meant for me to be where I was. So I always say, hey, I don't have regrets. A lot of times when you date somebody and you're in a relationship with somebody and it goes sour, you always want to say, I could have, or I wish I'd have never met.
Right.
Well, I would have never been doing half the things I was doing if I didn't meet half the great people I met. It's just you keep a bitterness because you just afraid that it wasn't for you. And a lot of times it really wasn't, but God has something for you.
Yeah.
So when I went back to him and I started asking him, it started being more clear what's for me and what's not. Because I thought everybody was for me. Everybody gonna love me. I started my show. I'm gonna have all these followers. I'm gonna get all this. And good Lord was sitting back like, you didn't need all that.
You didn't need
You wanted more headaches than I want to give you. So he didn't give them to me. He gave me enough where I can realize I wanted what I thought was right for what I wanted. He said, so is it for you, or is it you trying to do it in mine?
Right.
So a lot of times you lead with your own, you get in the selfish way of what you want, and then when it don't work, you get humbled and you realize there's more work to be done. So that's why I'm scared of people out there today looking at social media and they're not willing to work.
Right.
You know, they just looking for whatever handouts that can be done. They're programming you to be that way, but my whole thing is get back where God's word is. Get back to where he wants us to be, and let's be stronger people. And then you'll stop being so rude and so heartless towards somebody else, and you'll start being more caring for all the ones that need to be next to you. And watch your circle, because your circle can't be as large as what you think it is. I really do think that you need to have it where when you fall, somebody's there to catch you, because most people will just watch you. Everybody ain't gonna catch you. So be around the right-minded people, and I think you'll get better results as well. Whoever that was for.
There you go. And with that, let's just jump into the topic for tonight. Oh, Lord. She is fine, paid, and educated.
Oh, yes.
But she's still single.
Now, this is personal. This is my personal view on this, okay? So I'm going to get hit, and I already know it.
You already know.
But I'm going to say, and it's just some of the people I've dated that was very attractive, beautiful, educated, and the rest. A lot of times, they told me that they was healed. They told me that they chose to be single. And when I dated them and I spent more time, I found out that they still had a little ways to go. Not saying I don't either. I just know that all looks ain't all what it is, but I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a gravitational pull, and it is one of the things that we look for.
Yeah.
Educated. I mean, I have no problem with being a person being educated, because I feel like I'm educated as well. So I think we can have a great dialogue. That's good. Why is she by herself? Well, that's gonna be a question, because you think about somebody that's attractive, that's educated, probably have their own money and doing things. You would be like, yeah, that person 9 times out of 10 should not be single. Well, just remember, she probably wasn't. Somebody else chose her.
She probably wasn't.
It just didn't work all the way out.
Right.
And just before I go any further, because I'm going to get bashed, I'm going to go to a man's point of view. Men. Women would say, why is a man attractive, got money, why he by himself? Well, I can speak for that for myself. A person like myself, I've been through things. I've been divorced, and I've been through relationships, and a lot of times I wasn't healed either. I can tell you, I ran to relationships. I can just say I was in them. Sometimes I didn't take enough time to get past some of the things that I went through.
Yeah, it's
not
hard.
Not to blame.
It's
but,
hard, yeah.
And just knowing that alone, sometimes when I'm out there and I tell somebody, they be like, well, whatever happened? I feel like I shouldn't have to express my whole past to anybody that's in my present, because the only thing you're doing is presently talking to me. But I want to give you enough to realize I'm healing from a lot of different things that I went through. And in that form is why I choose just to date and not get into a serious relationship, because I want to make for a friend to understand all the things I've been through, because I'm no longer hurting. But again, I need to know where you at, because I can't be your counselor just because I found a way to get healed. Right. Doesn't mean I am fit to fix you. So I need to know a little bit more about you, but I have no problem letting you know that I've been through some things and I was the problem. I would be the first one to raise their hand and say, why did she leave? It's because of me. My arrogance, my attitude, and I wasn't put together quite well. And I ain't gonna say I'm put together well now. I'm just a little bit more knowledgeable about the bad behaviors that what I was doing, and I'm not trying to repeat them.
Good.
So that's how I speak.
Yeah.
But how another person talk, my last man wasn't no good to me either. And it's all about them. It's never about anything of they did to heal. It's always blaming the other person. Well, I can hear that quickly because, again, I probably got blamed for all the stuff too. But somewhere along the line, you got responsibility in that. And if you keep talking bad about the person you was with, it makes me look bad at you because you chose him. Okay? At one time, you thought he was all that. But now towards the end, he ain't nothing. Well, I'm sorry. You falling on deaf ears over here because that nothing is what you chose. That's what you rolled with. You rolled with for a long time, but now he ain't this, he ain't.
Yeah, but you know, Jay,
they speak for so much hurt, though.
you don't know what you're getting into.
Well, that's
you
just it.
never know what you're getting into. They might be nothing.
But hold on.
They might have
they
their
could
personality
be.
hat on, you know?
But that person chose that nothingness.
Yeah,
But they come in at me with that hurt of what they chose.
Yeah, they're
I
hurt.
didn't choose them. And my whole thing is I'm sitting here and she don't understand how I got to bear it. Now I have to bear the wrongs of another man when I'm just trying to know. And that's what I get sometimes in conversation because I'm trying to get to know you and I get to hear the wounds. And it don't take me deep to get that. It's just through general conversation because I want to generally get to know you. I generally care for everyone.
But think about this, and I probably should have set this up a little differently. That we're not talking about a young person. We're talking about somebody who you might expect got a little life in front of them. And in fact, let me just set this up a little bit.
What's that? I'll talk on.
When you paid and you educated, it takes time to get there.
Correct.
Right? And so you're probably not going to experience that, extremely under 40, right? By the time people get in their mid-30s and mid-40s, that's when they start, you can start making good money. You've been on the job, you got enough experience, you took the years to get your education.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do all that and stay fine, that makes you valuable. That really does make you valuable. But, in the midst of, all of that, nobody's ever really healing. So now you're talking about a person who's in their 40s, maybe 50s, and nobody's healed from their bad relationships.
Okay.
It's very difficult to heal. And so just about every one of those people who are paid and educated, they've been working hard and, they've been, grinding, getting it in. And if they did allow love, if they did try to have relationships that, when they don't work out, what do? You sink yourself back into work. Right?
Yes.
And so even though you want to be healed, because you're so fed up with the nonsense of relationships and how things kind of go south, that you hadn't even had a chance to think about it or talk about it or get with another brother and have a conversation about it. But here it is, 3, 5, 10 years later, you finally meet somebody who's decent, and what comes pouring out of you? All of that hurt.
Yes.
And I've met many of people, especially women, many of women who did not think that they were talking from a place of hurt. But you can see the hurt and you can hear the hurt coming out of them.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
And so if I'm gonna find somebody who's valuable, we're gonna call them valuable, defined, paid, and educated, that they're probably gonna come with some of that relationship baggage. I can't think of, it's gonna be very difficult to find somebody who hasn't been through some stuff at those later years, those latter middle age and latter years. So it's hard to heal. Everybody knows it's hard to heal from those relationships, but we all try, and we all try to move on.
Yes, we do.
But oftentimes there are wounds that we never tend to. And as soon as we meet the next person, those wounds are like fresh all over again, So that can be challenging, right?
It is.
But think about this, Jay. If I'm fine, I'm paid, and I'm educated, I got options.
That you do.
And sometimes those people have too many options. Right? Right?
I'm gonna be quiet.
Think about this now. If you got a real fine woman in front of you, Jay, you check me out. A real fine woman, she pays, she's educated, she like, you like, wow, baby, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
she get hollered at everybody.
Correct.
It may be a scenario where she really don't know how to decipher the good from the bad.
Okay.
It may be a scenario where she's been hollered at so many times, she's numb from being hollered at. And even
Okay.
if you're a good guy, even if you're saying the right things, I know there's been many a times I've said, you know, how guys will be on the sideline, a woman will pass by and you try to holler at her, you try to talk to her, you know, get her attention. You know, I've said some nice, generous, loving, respectful things.
Right.
And they treat me like the guy who said something radical, who said something, you know, ugly, who was offensive. And I know in my heart and mind, I know that it's not me that they're rejecting because they don't know me. What they're rejecting is that whole aura of having to being hollered at,
Right.
and figuring out who to say yes to and who to say no to. And for that note, if she's fine, fellas, and she's paid and educated, you might have to work a little harder. Right? Because they're so used to people bombarding them with
Don't laugh
efforts
at
to
nuggets.
try to get in their pants or get to
Don't
know
laugh
them.
at nuggets.
Doesn't that make sense?
It does.
It does for me. I mean, if a, you know, a woman is, I'm not gonna say I'm numb to them, but like I don't invest a whole lot at the beginning at all.
Right.
You know, I need to see and hear something a little more before I start wanting to really spend time and spend money. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a regular dude, you know what I'm saying? I love women like all the rest of them, but I done been through so much nonsense, you know, sometimes I'm just in the environment with a bunch of beautiful women, not really caring about what happens. Not really concerned that this woman is looking at me over there. And,
Right.
you know, who knows? She probably looks at everybody else, or maybe she just likes my outfit, or maybe she thinks she know me. But, you know, when I was a young man and you tried to get my attention, I gave it to you.
All day long.
And, you know, those are some beautiful days, right? Of course, we all have stories where we attracted a bunch of stuff that we didn't want. And, you know, it shouldn't, you know, we shouldn't have been talking to them anyway. It wasn't nothing but a waste of time. And it just, I spent a bunch of money I didn't want to. And here we are now. You know, maybe you had a couple of dates that was nice and friendly, but,
Right.
you know, up when things start going south, they go south. So, you know, valuable people also aren't needy.
Well,
They aren't needy. They like, I don't need your attention. I don't need you to holler at me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody holler at me. I know. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a good catch. You know you're a good catch.
Right.
She knows she's a good catch. Ladies, you know you are a good catch. And so now you can just go to the bar and have a good time. And not even think about getting a number or meeting somebody. Like the whole world is really less user friendly when it comes to getting to know people and being in a relationship and talking to people. It's a little less user friendly because I think so many people have been through so much more nonsense, you know,
I
just
totally
in the
agree.
world of dating, you know. So, you know, those people don't have time.
but I would tell you, and I love where you're going too, because again, you got to work harder. One of the things that I would say is I can be very persistent. I can sense that you might not be having a great day, and I might approach you in a positive way, best I could. You know, how are you doing? You know, I don't always walk up to people, "Hey, queen, hey, beautiful," and all the rest of it. I don't know you,
What's up, baby?
so I'm usually just walking up, "How are you doing?"
Right.
Noticing you got a big smile, you're having a great day. I'm coming general. In general, is because I don't know you, but I want to know you,
Right.
and I can sense that you're having a bad day. I'm already knowing I'm gonna push away right now. It might be a great time. Now, sometimes when I push away, they be like, "Well, I mean, it ain't you, it's just my day." But it opens up a door
Right.
because she sensed that I seen that she didn't want to be, and I took the time to push back because again, I'm trying to get to know you. So why would I bother you? I'm gonna give you your space, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Now, some men will be like, "Man, she rude, she this." I'm not thinking about rudeness at all. I'm thinking about, hey, right, she had a bad day.
Yeah.
So if you push away, it keeps any negative energy from forming at that point. Next thing you know, they come back at you.
They come back at you.
And they be like, you know something, I noticed the other day you spoke to me, you know, what was that about? Be like, I mean, you nice looking woman. I thought I would be kind because again, I've been seeing you, and I wasn't able to speak to you before, being so busy. I wanted to take the time to get to know you, but again, Respectfully, I didn't know if you was dating anybody, to open it up to see if we can get more
Absolutely.
going. Of course, she says she married or something. Then we already know we ain't gonna go too much further than that because I'm respectful. But you are single and you are looking. Then we can get into more dialogue.
Right.
And again, it's all there in the approach, and like that. She never really asked a lot of me, but she wants to get to know me. It's more genuine. Now, let me tell you about the problems of today. You got social media. You really don't know a person, but you see a picture of a person, and you be like trying to be the same respectful person. How you doing? How your day going? And y'all talking, and it's through text mostly because Facebook and all the rest.
Right.
And you ain't gonna believe this. I need some money for my rent.
Oh, no.
I need some. They do this early on. I mean, they don't even get the time to get to know you. They gonna ask you what kind of job you got, what you pushing with, because they usually want to know your social status, as in if you broke or not. Okay, if they sense you have any kind of money, the first test is I ain't looking for somebody that can't afford me, or this, that, and the other. Listen, gentlemen, if this happened to you quickly, not to be rude to that person, keep it moving. Keep it moving because he's setting the precedence. Because later on, she's gonna say, when you met me, you know what it was, and you did. And you allowed it to stay there. If that's not where you at, then don't push further. Don't push more. Push away.
Yeah.
And that person could come back to you in a different way or form. But at least you know where that person stands. Because my whole thing, my money means something to me. And obviously, this is something you do. And that's what we got to understand why a person can be attractive, money, and single. Is because I might not want to play with the foolishness. Okay? I don't need to be wasting my money on somebody that don't really care for me.
Yeah.
And that'd be a reason why I can say why I'm single at this present time. Because I just don't feel like I need to give my money to any and everybody just because you look good or you feel you look good. And that's another key thing. I've spoken to people that did not look attractive at all. You didn't have to be a 10 for me to speak to you, ever. I felt like you could be a 5'4". It doesn't matter. Being respectful is respectful.
Right.
If I see you staring, I would say, how you doing? I said that to this one chick, and she was like, oh, what'd you do? She had an attitude towards me, and I will tell you, she was ugly. I mean, it wasn't no playing around with her. She's
Right.
dead dog damn ugly.
Right.
But I said, she's staring at me, and the least I can do is, how you doing? And she came at me like she was bad as I could pull anybody, and she started talking to me like that. I pulled me a fine one this the other day, and I'm sitting here like, I just met you. You really think I care to hear this? But you feel like you can say anything to anybody because you have dressed. One of the reasons I noticed you is because you got a body, but you showed it all. But I'm speaking because you looked at me, and I thought I'd extend a hand instead of just staring back. And that's what I got. And again, it didn't hurt my feelings none. We spoke at that time. It wasn't nothing rude. I seen how she was speaking. I knew where it was going to go. And then we cut it down, cut it short, and I walked away. Her friend came up to me and said, you didn't leave your number. That was purposely done. It wasn't needed. See, how can she get in touch with me? She could find me on social media. I ain't that hard to find. If she that pressed.
Right.
Because it wasn't pressing to me. I mean, sometimes we just gotta know when to push away. And it ain't just because how you look and all the rest. It's your attitude. I don't care how fine you are. A jacked up attitude will cause people to walk away from you. And that is just serious. I mean, man, woman, it does not matter.
That's right.
Like me, I felt cocky, arrogant. Like I said, that woman was unattractive. Luckily, I didn't say her name or anything like that because it could be rude. And most people be like, you don't care what you say. I do. I didn't tell her to her face she wasn't. My whole thing is her attitude made her uglier than what I looked at her and seen. But my whole thing was, it wasn't the conversation piece with me. It's the attitude piece that pissed me off.
That attitude.
Yeah, cocky. And I can pull this and I can do this. And I'm sitting there with all that umbrella on, the lace front that was crooked, and and all the other damn makeup that I could see through. Come on now. I already seen what I was getting, wasn't what the real thing was.
That's good, Jay. That's good.
But she gonna say, well, you wasn't fine either. But I ain't had no umbrellas on, I had no makeup on, and I look genuine. Why? Because that's genuinely what I'm gonna do. I didn't have to dress up to make up. I ain't gotta make up to what I am what I am.
Right.
I put clothes on to make the clothes goddamn look good. People are stuck on themselves in ways I just don't always like. But I love for somebody to love themselves. To dress up appropriate, to feel good about themselves, to smell good about themselves all day long. I am not demoting that.
Right.
But the ones that you know what you're dressing up for because you want to be somebody other than what you are, because something you seen on TV, that does not mean that's going to be you.
That's right.
That's all I'm saying. Be the strongest, best you before you dress up to be somebody else, because we do not like
Yeah.
Good men do not like fake people. And then you can't always live up to the fake person. So now I got a fake person acting fake that don't know who the hell they are. I'm not a psychiatrist. But that's what I'm gonna end up trying to be, to figure out who you are.
Right.
You're gonna scare me once you take that
You know,
stuff off.
I love that idea. You mentioned two things actually. You mentioned arrogance and being confident.
Mhm.
And just because you fine don't mean you gotta be mean.
No.
Right?
At all.
And you know, I don't really understand how it goes on the other side. You know, do dudes just play women off when they're, you know, when they're unattractive women, or when they're not, you know, in their game? Do they just play them off like, or, you know, do men still be nice about it? Do men still be courteous? Do men still?
I'll be very honest. I'll be still be nice. Let me tell you,
You can still be nice too.
I am the person to be like, you're probably not my type, and you're not gonna. My type does change a lot anyway. So you might not be my type, and you might not be a person that I feel like I will really just seek after. But if you're nice enough to talk to me, you have a great conversation, then I have no problem talking to you. And that's the thing I know, it could build from there. I've been with somebody that I would like to say was not, everybody say got to be a dime piece. Everybody on my that I ever rock with, I would never lie and say there was always a dime piece, but they was good people.
Yeah.
And I was happy getting to know them. I like to say they got a little cocky, even though they wasn't, but somebody else pushed them to be that way.
Right.
But what I did notice, they was good spirited people.
Right.
Man, their spirit was good. They, again,
Man.
talk to
I
them,
love
man.
that.
Love the conversation.
I
And
love
then
that.
when we with each other, man, we had a great vibe.
Yeah. You
And-
know, Jay, I was at a family event
Mhm.
a few months ago.
Uh-huh.
And this was on a Saturday night. We all got G'd up, you know, to go and celebrate the family reunion.
Okay.
And so I ended up at a table next to a big girl,
Oh, okay.
right? Well, she was pretty, though. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
well.
She wasn't no regular. She was a
Right,
big
right.
girl, but she was real pretty.
Pretty
right?
face.
Pretty face. And let me tell you, she had the most beautiful personality.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Love it.
And so I sat down,
Yeah.
and the next thing you know, her and I just kind of connect.
Right.
And I looked up like, baby, what you drinking? So I went to the bar,
Got her a drink.
got her a drink, came back. By the time I came back, the whole room is watching me,
Oh,
right? Now this is family and friends, right?
Right.
But the whole room is watching me. And so I just played it up, right? I put the drink down in front of her and laid the napkin out, you know. I put my hands on her shoulders.
Most okay.
I went back round. I said, "You okay, baby?" I knew everybody was watching.
Right.
You okay, baby? Okay, great. We sat down and we just kept talking. And one of the things I liked about her is that she probably could feel the vibe that she wasn't my type of lady,
Mhm.
but she was still real friendly.
Right.
And we had a great time. We talked about the music, and we talked about the city, and we talked about football, and it was just a great evening.
Yeah.
I didn't ask her to dance, you know, and because I thought that would have been going too far.
Right.
Because I did have plans to try and holler at somebody.
Okay. Yeah,
Who
what's all that?
you know, who wasn't family, right. But what was beautiful is her personality, and you said
Right.
it just right. Attitude is everything,
Yes.
right? Attitude is absolutely everything. Now, when you are engaging with someone for the first time
Mhm.
or early in the game, you really have to stick around a little while to see if they're worthy. And if they're not worthy, then you can move on. But if they are worthy, you're gonna have to put in you're gonna have to put in a little work,
Right.
because you might not be the only one checking her out. You might not be the only one trying to get a number that night, and so, you know, sometimes it takes a little patience. You know, it takes a little standing on the other side of the room and let everybody have their turn, and then you go and get your turn. And when it's my turn, I'm gonna be like, look, I know I'm probably number 15 in the room so far, but I'm trying to know who you are. What's happening? How you doing? What's up? And next thing you know, I'm just gonna chop up a good conversation, trying to figure out the worthiness.
Right.
Right? I'm trying to figure out the worthiness. And one of the things.
Hey, I got to know what they do, bro.
Go ahead.
My mom, best friend, had a daughter, and she came, but not, they didn't come. But she came visit my mom, man. My mom said, you know, she got her daughter. Her daughter's a little younger than you, but you know, she'd love for you to take her around, show her a bit. I was like, all right, mom. I said, well, what's her number? She gave me a number. I won't mention her name, but I called her. Great conversation, bro. We hit it off,
Chopped
talking.
it up. Nice.
Yeah, and I said, you know, I ain't gonna ask you to send me a picture of you or nothing. I was like, but who you favorite? You know, mom, your dad. Oh, I look like my dad. I said, so you look like your dad. I said, okay, what features did you got like that? Yeah, strong hands,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, you ain't too masculine now. You know, we talking. She balling, she laughing with me.
Right.
And she's like, no, just, you know, they say, look, I look like my dad. I said, oh, cool. Well, we didn't meet immediately, but later on down the line, we did. And she didn't lie. She looked that like her daddy. She did. And I mean, it was a shocking.
That sounded like not a good thing.
Yeah, it was not.
It was not.
In the face, it was not. Okay? But we already had a great dialogue. And I didn't even really see her because I imagined something so much different than when I seen her. I was like, damn, I did not expect that to be you. But I remember the great conversation. And so we hammed it up then and we talked. And I was like automatically friends on her. Automatically, right? And she wanted to go to the store and she wanted to get a dress for an event. And she asked me to go. And I said, I went to rude. I went ahead and I went with her. She put on this dress and came out.
Yeah.
Totally had everybody at odds. This girl had a body of a goddess.
Wow.
But she always wore big back, so you didn't see that.
Right.
So you just see the fact she kind of looked like her daddy.
Right.
So when she put that dress on, bro,
Change the game.
man, I changed my whole way of looking at her.
Yes.
Now she wasn't trying to just reveal, because again, she had come out. She showed me about 3 or 4. I picked out 2 or 4, 5 more just to have tried them on, just because I wanted to see some more. Okay.
Right.
And I think she caught on. So she was like, but remember, I'm just your friend. That's she was remind me what I said. Because she wanted more at first. And I was like, no, that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
So when she seen me asking her to put on this thing, she was, oh yeah, I thought we just gonna be friends. I said, we friends, but right now this is beneficial. I'm benefiting from seeing how you look in these different things. And I'm taking pictures for you, for I can show you what you look like. None of they was for me. Man, I'm taking pictures, man, I'm showing them my boys. Like, yo, look, they like, now, the first picture I said was when I first met her. It was like, that's what you get. You know, the boys picking with me and that's always, whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't care. I said, man, she's good people. But when I took that picture with her with them different outfits on, and the last one was almost like a bikini-like outfit, bro, where was she at? Hey, since you ain't hollering, let me, it's amazing how everybody changed up when they just seen that.
Well, go ahead.
But I would tell you, we stayed just friends. We did. It never became a relationship, but it became a friendship that was looked at quite differently. And that's what made me stop judging people immediately. And again, what I really liked about the whole thing is I didn't judge her on the upfront because I didn't see her. It was just like a mom setting you up type deal. And then when you see her, you'd be like, yo, mom, obviously you didn't see her.
Right. Right.
But my mom was like, so you shouldn't be stuck on just like that. You know, the girl go to school, the girl, she doing good things, and she got a good job. And my mom was totally correct. Yeah, she did. She had good foundations behind her.
That's why she introduced her.
And man, this girl done went off now. She got married, got kids. So again, how some people judge you, they just don't know the core of you. They don't know the inside of you. They just see the outside of you.
Right.
And she had a good inside. Not to say everybody else do. She did. And somebody else seen it. Now, it wasn't me, but it was somebody else that seen it. And they married it.
Watch this.
Still married to this very day and got kids.
Have you ever, and you just kind of described it, but have you ever met a woman who was unsuspectingly fine, right? Mm-hmm. Like you will see her in one environment and she just looks regular. Mm-hmm. But then you see her when she's fixed up that, wow, she looked very different. And I have no doubt in my mind that women look at us men in the exact same way.
Right.
We might have on a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, you know, not really just doing the day. But when we get dressed up, we look like $1 million. And we look like we going somewhere, and we look like we are someone. And so you sometimes you'll get fooled in the equation.
I got fooled the opposite way.
Yeah.
I seen somebody dressed up and I it was just too much.
Yeah.
The next time she came down, she was just kind of like, she was going out for a jog and everything. So she didn't have all the fake hair on. She had regular hair, little jogging suit on, and it was fitting though. And no real makeup, but you can say she did look something. She still looked good. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
She looked so much better compared to when I first met her.
Yeah.
It was more like a photo shoot when I met her. So she had a lot of makeup on, and she was dressed up with designer stuff. And again, that was for the photo shoot. So the next time I met her, we was just going to go jogging. There was a couple of us. So when I seen her, I didn't even know who she was. Somebody had to say her name 2 different times before I can call who she was. Because to me, how much better she looked. She was more genuine. She was just laid back. And when I met her, she couldn't even speak to me. This time she was able to speak. We was able to talk. We jogging, man. We purposely jogging slower than the mug just to be away from everybody, so we can have a great conversation. First thing she says, I noticed when you was at the party, you really wasn't speaking to me. And I said, because I already seen how the light was on you and everybody was on you, and then I just didn't feel you. But now that you came like how you came, I'm like, yeah, I felt more compelled to come to you now because you showed me a good sign, a sign of a person I can vibe with. She said, you showed me that sign from the first time to this time. So she didn't misjudge me. I kind of misjudged her. And again, that could be us dating and being around somebody and taking so much time to call yourself healing, where you can also be hurting yourself. Because good people need to be around good people.
Yeah. And just know this as we close, folks. You cannot judge a book by its cover.
Very correct.
Take time to get to know the person,
Yes.
and you just might find out that this fine, paid, educated person is the right person.
Come on.
Right? This has been Bar Talk with Jay.
Yes.
My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay. And we want to thank you for being here with us tonight. Again, it's just our opportunity to be leaders here in the community. We're here every Thursday from 7 to 8, Facebook Live. We've been here for 7 years, which means we got all kinds of shows for you to go back and take a look at.
Yes.
And be a part of your entertainment.
Subscribe.
Be a part of your entertainment. So we love you, folks. We appreciate you. And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.